English football is known worldwide for the intensity of its rivalries and the passion of its supporters. Over more than a century of history, various classics have established themselves as memorable confrontations that transcend the simple result of a match. These derbies represent much more than sporting competition. They are expressions of regional identity, historical tradition, and rivalry that crosses generations of entire families. England possesses an incomparable wealth of classics that reflect the geographical and cultural diversity of the country. From confrontations between rival cities to clashes between historic giants, each classic carries with it stories of glory, disappointment, unforgettable moments, and rivalries that have shaped British football. These derbies are not just football matches, they are cultural events that move multitudes, generate intense emotions, and leave deep marks on supporters' memories. Below, we present the 10 greatest classics of English football, ordered by their historical importance, rivalry intensity, and cultural impact. 10th greatest classic, Sheffield United vs Sheffield Wednesday. Starting our countdown, we have the classic between Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday, two giants of English football that share the same city. This is one of England's oldest derbies, with roots dating back to the late 19th century. The confrontation between Sheffield's two teams represents the rivalry between two institutions that helped shape professional English football. Although both clubs have experienced periods of greater prominence at different times, the Sheffield derby maintains its historical relevance and continues to be a confrontation that awakens passion among local supporters. Matches between Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday are marked by the intensity typical of regional derbies, where geographical proximity amplifies the rivalry and transforms each encounter into an event of great importance for the city. 9th greatest classic, Millwall vs West Ham. The classic between Millwall and West Ham is one of London's most heated derbies, representing the rivalry between two teams from the east of the English capital. Millwall and West Ham share a history of memorable confrontations and a rivalry that goes beyond football, reflecting cultural and social differences between the neighbourhoods they represent. Supporters of both clubs are known for their fervent passion and dedication, transforming each encounter into a spectacle of emotion and intensity. The Millwall and West Ham derby is often considered one of the most dangerous in terms of safety, such is the level of rivalry between the supporters. Despite this, or perhaps because of it, the confrontation remains one of the most anticipated classics by English football fans, representing the raw and passionate essence of British grassroots football. 8th greatest classic, Portsmouth vs Southampton. The South Coast Derby of England pits Portsmouth and Southampton face to face, two clubs that represent rival cities in the south of the country. This classic is known as one of the most balanced confrontations in terms of tradition and historical importance. Portsmouth and Southampton have a long history of competition, with both clubs having experienced periods of great success and moments of difficulty. The derby between these two teams is marked by intense regional rivalry and geographical proximity that intensifies the sense of competition. Supporters of Portsmouth and Southampton approach their confrontations with seriousness and passion, transforming each match into an important event for the region. Despite not having the same media visibility as some of England's greatest classics, the Portsmouth and Southampton derby remains a significant confrontation in English football history. 7th greatest classic, Birmingham City vs Aston Villa. The Birmingham Classic pits two of the Midlands' most traditional teams face to face, Birmingham City and Aston Villa. This is one of England's oldest and most important derbies, with historical roots extending over more than a century. The confrontation between Birmingham and Aston Villa represents the rivalry between two nearby cities, but with distinct identities and equally rich football histories. Historically, both clubs have won important titles and left their marks on English and European football history. However, in recent years, Aston Villa has enjoyed a considerable advantage in terms of national and international performance, which has intensified the rivalry even further. The Birmingham derby is a confrontation that awakens intense emotions in both sets of supporters, representing much more than simple sporting competition. It is a reflection of regional identity, tradition, and pride that each club carries with it. When Birmingham and Aston Villa face each other, the entire Midlands region stops to follow the confrontation, transforming it into an event of great cultural and social importance. 6th greatest classic, Chelsea vs Tottenham. The classic between Chelsea and Tottenham is one of London's most modern and dynamic derbies, representing the rivalry between two of the English capital's most successful clubs in recent decades. Although it doesn't have the same century-old history as some other classics, the confrontation between Chelsea and Tottenham has gained significant importance over the last 20 years, especially with the financial investments both clubs have received. Chelsea and Tottenham have regularly competed for the same titles, both at national and European level, creating an intense and well-defined rivalry. The Chelsea and Tottenham derby is marked by the technical quality of the teams, attacking football and fierce competition for supremacy in London. Supporters of both clubs approach their confrontations with great enthusiasm, transforming each match into a spectacle of high-quality football. The rivalry between Chelsea and Tottenham represents modern English football competition, where financial resources and ambition combine to create exciting and memorable confrontations. Fifth greatest classic, Liverpool vs Everton. The Merseyside derby pits Liverpool and Everton face-to-face, the two football clubs from the city of Liverpool. This is one of England's most unique classics, as both clubs share not only the same city, but also the same stadium for much of their histories. The confrontation between Liverpool and Everton is marked by a rivalry that goes beyond football, reflecting historical, cultural and social differences between the neighbourhoods each club represents. Liverpool, with its history of European success and national dominance, and Everton, with its historical tradition and regional importance, create a confrontation that awakens intense passions throughout the city. The Merseyside derby is known for its unique atmosphere, where geographical and family proximity between supporters creates an environment of fierce but respectful competition. Many Liverpool families have members who support both clubs, which makes the derby an event that transcends simple football and becomes a matter of family and regional identity. When Liverpool and Everton face each other, the entire city of Liverpool mobilises to follow the confrontation, transforming it into an event of great cultural and emotional importance. Fourth greatest classic, Newcastle United vs Sunderland. The Tyne-Wear derby is one of the greatest rivalries in North East England, pitting Newcastle United and Sunderland face-to-face in a confrontation marked by great passion and intensity. This classic represents the rivalry between two nearby cities, but with distinct identities and equally rich football histories. Newcastle and Sunderland have a long tradition of memorable confrontations, with both clubs having experienced periods of great success and moments of difficulty. The Tyne-Wear derby is known for its explosive atmosphere, with passionate supporters that transform each match into an event of great regional importance. The rivalry between Newcastle and Sunderland goes beyond football, reflecting historical and cultural differences between the two northeast English cities. Supporters of both clubs approach their confrontations with seriousness and dedication, creating a competition that is considered one of the most intense and exciting in England. When Newcastle and Sunderland face each other, the entire northeast region stops to follow the confrontation, transforming it into an event of great cultural and social importance for the local community. Third greatest classic, Manchester United vs Manchester City. The Manchester derby pits two of England's and the world's most successful clubs face-to-face, Manchester United and Manchester City. This classic gained renewed and intensified importance after Manchester City's purchase by billionaires, which transformed the club into a financial powerhouse capable of rivaling Manchester United's historical supremacy. Historically, Manchester United dominated the rivalry, with an incomparable history of success that includes national, European, and world titles. However, in recent years, Manchester City has emerged as a dominant force, winning multiple Premier League titles and establishing itself as one of Europe's most successful clubs. The Manchester derby is marked by the technical quality of the teams, attacking football and fierce competition for supremacy in the city. The rivalry between Manchester United and Manchester City represents modern English football competition, where historical tradition meets contemporary financial power. Supporters of both clubs approach their confrontations with great enthusiasm and passion, transforming each match into a high-quality football spectacle that attracts attention from around the world. Second greatest classic, Arsenal vs Tottenham. The North London derby pits Arsenal and Tottenham face-to-face, two of the English capital's most traditional and successful clubs. This classic emerged when Arsenal moved its headquarters to North London, where Tottenham was already an established club, creating a rivalry that intensified over the decades. The confrontation between Arsenal and Tottenham is marked by fierce competition for supremacy in London and constant dispute for national and European titles. Both clubs have rich histories of success, with Arsenal having experienced periods of absolute dominance, especially during the Arsene Wenger era, whilst Tottenham constantly sought to win important titles. The North London derby is known for its technical quality, emotional intensity, and the importance both sets of supporters attach to the confrontation. The rivalry between Arsenal and Tottenham goes beyond football, reflecting historical and cultural differences between the North London neighbourhoods each club represents. When Arsenal and Tottenham face each other, the entire English capital mobilises to follow the confrontation, transforming it into an event of great cultural and emotional importance for the city. England's greatest classic, Liverpool versus Manchester United. The classic between Liverpool and Manchester United is widely recognised as the greatest rivalry in English football, with historical roots extending over more than a century. This rivalry originates from economic and cultural disputes between the cities of Liverpool and Manchester, two of England's greatest industrial metropolises during the 19th and 20th centuries. Liverpool and Manchester United are two of England's most popular, traditional and successful clubs, having won countless national and European titles throughout their histories. The confrontation between Liverpool and Manchester United represents much more than simple sporting competition. It is a reflection of the cultural, historical and social differences between two cities that compete for supremacy not only in football, but also in various aspects of British life. Historically, both clubs have experienced periods of absolute dominance, with Liverpool having enjoyed considerable supremacy during the 1970s and 1980s, whilst Manchester United emerged as a dominant force from the 1990s onwards under the leadership of Sir Alex Ferguson. The classic between Liverpool and Manchester United is marked by the technical quality of the teams, emotional intensity and the importance both sets of supporters attach to the confrontation. Each match between these two giants is an event of great importance not only for the cities they represent, but for all English and world football. Liverpool and Manchester United supporters approach their confrontations with fervent passion, transforming each encounter into a football spectacle that attracts the attention of millions of people around the world. The rivalry between Liverpool and Manchester United remains the essence of English football, representing tradition, history, passion, and the eternal competition between two institutions that have shaped football as we know it today. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, and before I go, I'm leaving another video, a big hug.